Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. As you can see, I hadn't said nothing yet this morning. Whilst I did, I was singing. I was singing this morning. In the morning, I like to, well, especially on Sunday mornings, I like to listen to a little bit of good little gospel to get me together, get me together, honey. When I tell y'all, okay, so let me tell y'all something. And this might be TMI, but we family. So I've been wearing a sweat band right around my waist to try to, trying to get rid of this belly. And I feel like it pushes my breastises up. So I feel like it makes my breastises look even bigger than what they are. Because just now I was like, damn. Anyway, that might have been TMI. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy Easter, happy Resurrection Sunday if you are a believer of those things. And if you are not, you practice other things, that's fine too. Happy Sunday. Y'all know I'm a believer. So it's happy resurrection for me. I did what I do every night before Easter. I watched the 10 Commandments last night. I love that movie. And it's funny because the older the movie gets, the more dated it gets. Because I was looking at it last night and I was like, baby, these special effects, baby, they really thought they were special effecting. Baby, when they part the sea and you see them little toy soldiers in that water. But that's okay. That ain't why we there. That ain't why we watch. Well, at least me. That ain't why, But baby, they gave Charlton Heston that good old tan rather than just hire some black people. Never mind, though. Never mind. We ain't gonna go down that road today. We're gonna leave that right there. But anyway, yeah. I always watch The Sound of Music. Christmas Sound of Music always comes on during Christmas at some point. The Christmas Eve, I always watch It's a Wonderful Life. That's my mom's favorite movie, and me and my mom always watch that on Christmas Eve. And I always call my mama at the end, and she's always crying. And I'd be like, and I always say, Mama, why are you crying? You know how this ends. I know, but it's just when I see the goodness of people, and she just cry every Christmas Eve. She cries watching The Sound of It's a Wonderful Life. And I remember as a kid, I wasn't a kid. I was probably in college. I remember or high school. I bought her the VHS, right? I bought her the VHS tape. Because I was like, now you can watch it whenever you want to. And she would never watch it. And I was like, but that's your favorite movie. Why won't you watch it? And she was like, it's not the same. Like, I have to watch it on Christmas Eve. So, anyway. And then I always watch the 10 Commandments. So, let me say hi to the people. What's up, DB? Hey, The Informed. What's up, Chuck? Corey, Sweet Pea, Quake, CC. Hey, Powerful, my love. Amber, what's going on? Miss Jocelyn. Hey, Marcus. Shout out. You okay? You from work down to the Chester. Hey, boo. Thank you, Quake, for always being over on Twitch. Thank you, my love. Tawanda, Fanny Mama, what's going on? What's up, Benji Nay? Brandon, Fedora, what's up, my love? Hey, did I already say Sweet Pea? If I didn't, I'm going to say it again. Hey, Sweet Pea. What's up, Cheryl? What's up, T? All me. Mwah. Thank you again for your love the other night. You and French Kiss. Amber Shelby, what's going on, Half Pen? Hey, my love. Giving you another tight hug, Half Pen. You headed to church already late. Well, listen, pray when you get there, honey. Just pray for you. They go cruiser. Tell the Lord, thank you. What's up, Jazz Poetress? What's going on, Des Hop? It's so funny because we went on the cruise. I think everybody was just waiting for Cruiser to say, tell the Lord, thank you. How many people said that to you on the cruise? Cruiser, when we met up, when all of us got together, how many people asked you to say that? I feel like everybody was just waiting for Cruiser to say. And when we went to Kentucky too, they was like, just tell the Lord thank you. What's up, Nitwit? My 5-year-old asked me, did we miss Jesus' funeral? Oh my gosh. I don't know why that just tickled the hell out of me. Woo, put that up on the screen. Nitwit said her 5-year-old want to know that they missed Jesus' funeral. Oh my goodness, that thing just took me out. I don't know why that just tickled me like that. That thing took me out. Did we miss Jesus' funeral? Oh, Jesus. Baby, out of the mouths of babes. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, out of the mouths of babes. Did we miss Jesus' funeral? Oh, I ain't never heard that one before. That's a funny one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh. Oh gosh. Right, Fedora said I'm doing a Byron no. Y'all cracking me up this morning. Oh, that thing took me out just now. That thing took me out. Ooh, baby. Did we miss Jesus' funeral? Tell her the funeral was on Good Friday. Oh, Jesus. Which I do know why they call it Good Friday, but I wasn't ready for that one. Oh, gosh, I was not ready. Did we miss Jesus' funeral? Yeah, I'm gonna get it together. Every time I think about it, that thing cracks me up again. Oh my gosh, that thing took me out. Okay. All right, let me get myself together. Ooh, Nitwig, you get that baby a hug for me. You get that baby a hug for me. Oh, that thing took me out. Oh my gosh. Did we miss Jesus' funeral? I'm gonna tell my mama that today. Ooh. Brandon said actually won an Oscar for Best Special Effects. Well, I'm sure at the time those were, groundbreaking special effects. Who? You know what? When does The Wizard of Oz come on? I don't really know when The Wizard of Oz comes on. Is it a special time of year that they always show the Wizard of Oz? Oh Jesus. I'll watch if I'm flipping the channel and The Wizard of Oz is on. I'll probably stop and watch it for a few minutes. It was never one of my favorite movies, and y'all know I hate The Wiz. I listen. Take my black card. I am not a fan of The Wiz, and it's not because it's not a great movie. Okay, first of all, hold on. Let me see who this calling. It's my mama. I knew it was my mama. Hold on, y'all. Hello. Oh, I was just trying to find out what time you wanted us over there for dinner. That's all. Well, wanted me over there for dinner. But Monique already called me and told me. She said 5. Well, I'm coming earlier because I'm coming watch the game with Daddy. Because I know he ain't go to church. Did you need me to pick anything up? I meant to ask you that yesterday. Okay, all right. So I'll probably be there. The game come on at 3:30. I'll be there by then. All right, bye. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, I should have told my mama. Oh, she's still at church though. She's still at church. She probably went in the bathroom and saw that I had called her. I meant to call her last night and find out what time she wanted to come for dinner. Cause y'all know I don't do church holidays. Y'all know I ain't going to church on Easter. I went last Sunday. I don't do church holidays. Imitation of Life is my favorite movie. I love The Imitation of Life. That is my favorite movie. And you're right. Every time when that baby falls on her mama casket and say, "Mama, I'm sorry, Mama, I'm sorry, Mama," with Mahalia Jackson in the background, yeah, that thing takes me out every time. Yeah, yep. The Imitation of Life is mine. Yep, it's mine. Oh gosh. Oh, I was telling y'all why I don't like The Wiz. Number one, I don't like The Wiz because they got 50-year-old. Well, she wasn't 50. I'm exaggerating, but she was like 30 years old. Diana Ross playing Dorothy. Okay, and I ain't like that. I was like, she old. Okay, she looked old because she looked older than she was at the time, and I didn't like it. And I told y'all that subway scene when the subway come alive. Absolutely not. That shit gave me nightmares. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I still hear that shit. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. But the Lord, what was that thing walking through the subway? And then the subway came to life? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not. F with The Wiz. Absolutely not. I can't do it. Nope. Absolutely not. The best part about The Wiz for me was, "Can you feel a brand new day?" Now, I watched a clip of that when they changed the different colors. I like that. And don't nobody bring me no bad news. Those two I like. But I don't like nothing else about that movie. Sorry, not sorry. No, can't do it. Oh, gosh. It's funny. It's a Wonderful Life went from the most hated movie when it first aired to the most beloved movies. Movie is depressing when you think about it, but ends up on a high note. It ends on a high note. What's up, Candy? I'm still saying hi to everybody. What's up, D? Hey, nephew. Dre loving life. Candy love. What's going on? Okay, Miss Jocelyn, Miss French Kiss. Thank you for being a member for 28 months. Thank you so much. All right, let me scroll down. I'm caught in the traffic going to Six Flags over Jesus. Can y'all stop this morning? Six Flags over Jesus? What? Six Flags over Jesus? What's up, Messy Missy? No, I don't do church holidays. I don't go to church on church holidays. What's up, Simon? Oh, God. Shout out to Six Flags over Jesus. I'm not doing this with y'all this morning. Oh, the Wizard of Oz comes on around Christmas? Okay. Oh, God. Would you watch The Wiz on Broadway? I wanted to go see it on Broadway. When it came back, when Candy and them, I did want to see it. Okay. Yeah, I did want to see it. But no, don't be telling me to take no flowers, Nay. The Imitation of Life, the version, not the pancake version, not that one. I don't know what year it came out. I guess that year came out was 1959 is the one that I like. I don't like the pancake one. That's not the one I'm talking about. The other one, the one with Mahalia Jackson singing at the end. Yes, baby. Mahalia Jackson singing at the end did it for me. Not YouTube to unsubscribe. Okay, now they're just messing with you. What's up, April? Okay, y'all. If I missed y'all, I'm sorry because I got caught up and I'm just trying to get to the bottom. I was mad. They did Stephanie Mills dirty. They did Stephanie Mills dirty. You can find some good vinyls at the Goodwill, baby. I love vinyls. I found that reminds me. I found this app. Dr. Soapy, hey boo, how are you? Hope you are well. I hope you are well. I love The Wiz, but the critics agree with you. Really be too scary for the kids and too silly for adults, baby. Because I remember my grandmother took all her grandkids to go see it, and it's about I think altogether is 13. At the time, I think it might have been 10. Baby, she loaded, and that was back in the day when they didn't care about seatbelts and stuff. Baby, she loaded all of us up in her station wagon. I don't even know how we all got in our car, but we got in there, and she loaded all of us up. And I remember we were with all my cousins, and I just remember, baby, that was not for me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever watched The Wiz all the way through as an adult. I've seen parts of it, but as an adult, I don't know if I've ever sat down and just watched it from beginning to end. Absolutely not. Nope. You can't win. I ain't like that. I just ain't like it. I ain't like it. And then after I read Call Me Miss Ross, and you find out all of the dirty games that Berry Gordy played to get Donna Ross in that role. When Stephanie Mills say she was cheated, she was. They did Stephanie Mills dirty. Berry Gordy did it. And he thought that was going to get he did it with that. And then with Lady Sings the Blues, he tried to bully Hollywood into getting Donna Ross that Oscar. He tried to bully Hollywood. And you know that didn't work. Hollywood was like, "Sir, who do you think you are?" And then they bullied Stephanie Mills out of that role. Sure did. Anyway, y'all, now listen. I'm gonna try to get y'all 3 videos before I get out of here. I know y'all heard me on the phone. I'm going to watch the basketball game with my daddy because me and him love us some Don Staley, and I want to hear him cuss out Geno because I know my daddy going to call that man all kinds of names. Now, if y'all know anything about old people, and when I say old people, y'all know I'm saying like older people, y'all know they don't have no cut cards. My niece is in the chat. My daddy don't really have no cut cards, and if it's politically incorrect, he going to say it. So I'm interested to see what kind of names he going to call Geno. And what kind of things he gonna say about Geno? Because I know he got some words. And I want to hear him. I want to hear him. Oh, we know Donna Ross is no innocent. I ain't saying Donna Ross is innocent. I'm just saying Well, yeah, I already told y'all how I feel about Diana Ross. Whenever people, I'm not a Diana Ross fan, and a lot of the reasons why I'm not a Beyonce fan have a lot to do with why I'm not a Diana Ross fan. It's very much connected. It's very much connected, and I know people don't want to hear that, and the beehive gonna sting me. But in all reality, early on in Beyonce's career, and probably even now, they just do a better job now of not letting us know. But early on in her career, a lot of the things that her dad was doing, and a lot of the moves that Beyonce was moving, and we're doing a lot of the same things. If you read Mary Wilson's book about the Supremes, My Life as a Supreme. It's called Dreamgirls, My Life is a Supreme. If you read that book, and then you read Call Her Miss Ross, and then you look at Beyonce's early career and her dad as her manager and the moves that they made, if you look at that, it very much parallels. So to be honest with you, a lot of the reasons why I'm not a Beyonce fan has a lot to do with the same reasons why I'm not a Diana Ross fan. And it doesn't mean that these women aren't talented. It doesn't mean that they... y'all have never heard me say anything about Beyonce's talent. You've just heard me say, not a fan. That's all. You never heard me disrespect her talent. But I need Michelle and Latavia to write a book one day. I don't know. He followed the roadmap. He did. Like, even when you go back, and I've told y'all this before, but even when you go back to Beyonce's debut album, and she redid a song by, it wasn't Dionne Farris. It's the lady that sings, you gotta be proud, you gotta be strong, you gotta be her. The lady who sings that song, and I can't remember the name of the song. Beyonce wanted to do one of her songs on her album. And when I say Beyonce, I'm sure Beyonce and her team, okay? I'm sure it wasn't just Beyonce. And they told her no. The woman owned her own song. She was the owner of the song, songwriter, whatever. And the lady said, no, you cannot do my song. No. They recorded it anyway, put it on the album, and made a video for it. To the point where it wasn't Tracy Chapman. To the point where they had to, a lot of people don't remember this, they had to pull the original Desiree. That's her. Thank you, Marcus. Desiree. They had to pull Beyonce's debut album. They had to pull it off the shelves because the original album that they shipped out had that song on there. And that woman sent them a cease and desist and was like, I told you no. I told you you could not do my song. And they had to pull it and re-release it and take the song off of there and re-release it. And they had even started playing the video. I remember I saw the video on like MTV or VH1 or something. They had actually started playing the video and they had to pull all of that shit. And when I think, to me, that is arrogance. That is, oh, I know she said no, but she ain't mean it. No, she fucking meant it. She meant it. When I think about Dreamgirls, how they bullied the songwriters of Listen to put Beyonce's name on that song as a writer. And they said she wasn't there. They said she came to one session and added one little woo-woo. And then they made them add her name to that song. And then when it went up for Oscar consideration, they were able to take her name off because when you put a song in for Oscar, only 3 songwriters, you can have no more than 3 songwriters on a song to be nominated for an Oscar. So they took Beyonce's name off. So had Listen won for the Oscar, Beyonce wouldn't have won an Oscar. But the songwriters were like, yeah, go on and take her name off because she ain't write shit. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So when I talk about not being a Beyonce fan, it ain't got shit to do with her talent. I've never said Beyonce's not talented, but it's stuff like that. And before y'all say, well, she ain't the only one, and other people, I know that. But because when I saw the parallel with that and Diana Ross, it just turned early on in her career. It just turned me off. I remember reading an article when Destiny's Child when they first fired those girls, the first 2 girls, young ladies from Destiny's Child. I remember an article I read where they were saying how Beyonce was driving a BMW and living in a brand new house, and how, I can't remember which one it was like she's still driving her Honda Accord living in the same apartment that she lived in when the group first started. And I was like, see, that's the shit I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking about. How Beyonce got a brand new BMW and they living in this brand new house, and she's still driving a Honda, living in the same apartments that they started in. That's the shit I'm talking about. Anyway, that ain't what I'm here to talk about. That ain't what I'm talking about. She stole Lettucey's moment. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. That's what the Toya says. She was still driving her mom's car. That might be the article I'm talking about. But anyway, that's me, y'all. That's me. Don't nobody have to feel the way I feel. But with that being said, I got a tight timetable, and I done already wasted 20 minutes talking about Beyonce, child. But I got if y'all want me to get all these videos in before I leave here at 2:30, let me get to it. Shit. Hold on, let me play this commercial. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. I'm not going to belabor the point about this Kanye West situation because we had a whole conversation. Shut up, Cajun. We had a whole, wait a minute, 10:41. Oh, okay. Oh, look at my Pooh in his Easter suit. Look at my Pooh in his Easter outfit with his bow tie. Oh, he looks so big. Look how tall he look. Oh, I'm getting so old. Anyway, his father hates it when I call him Pooh. He said, because it sounds like Pooh. And I'll be like, no, I'm saying Pooh like Winnie the Pooh, like Pooh. Anyway. But I feel like the more he hates me calling him Pooh, the more I do it. Not to belabor the point about Kanye West, because like I said, we talked about it the other day, but shout out to my girl Tabitha Speaks. She posted this list of all the celebrities and influencers who went to Kanye West concert in LA. Now, we know that he is selling out this arena. So the arena is full of people. Now, when we start talking about canceling people, you know, again, I'm not saying you have to cancel anybody. But what I'm saying is let's have a conversation about why we're picking and choosing who we canceling. It's easy to cancel a Chili because no disrespect to TLC, they ain't put nothing out new and you know what I mean? It's easy to say, oh well, I ain't gonna go to the TLC concert because it's TLC. But what about Kanye? What about Snoop? What about the people who they have hits? See, that's when it's a little bit harder. We talked about this the other day, but I'm just gonna read y'all this list of influencers and who went to go see Kanye West: Travis Scott, Chloe Bailey, CeeLo Green, Lauryn Hill, YG and Zion Marley, Dave Chappelle, Erykah Badu, Kai Cenat, Niecy Nash, French Montana, The Game, 2 Chainz, Kevin Gates, Diplo, Rich the Kid, Winnie Harlow, and Paul Pierce. Now, here's the thing. Some of those people we expect. But others of those people, like the Niecy Nash kind of I was really like, damn, Niecy, for real? Like Niecy Nash literally went down to the polls and took water. I remember during the election, on election day, her and her wife literally were delivering water and delivering supplies to the polls and getting people out to vote. And you're at the Kanye West concert, a man who during the campaign was telling black folk to vote for Donald Trump, was wearing Make America Great Again hats, went to the White House. That's who we talking about? Like, come on. Now you thought CeeLo Green was dead. No, CeeLo Green is not dead. No. Now, some of these people, like I said, I'm not surprised at the French Montanas and the Travis Scotts of the world. I'm not surprised at the people, but the people like Erykah Badu, maybe I'm a little surprised, but Niecy Nash, I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised. Tracy said, not let me get a light-skinned flight. What are y'all? Hold on. Tracy got the bar open on Easter morning, honey. Resurrection morning. Blackberry, blood orange, and pineapple mango mimosa flights. Peach Bellini and caramel espresso martini. And for the non-drinkers, we have a peach sparkling cider. I'm going to just let me get a peach sparkling cider. Because all lives MAGA. Right. Yep. So anyway, I just thought I would share that information with you. Shout out to my girl, Tabitha Speaks, who posted that on her Instagram. Shout out to her. Y'all, look, this made my morning. When I woke up, Jean-Pierre, former White House press secretary, liked me because I reshared. To be clear, I just reshared her picture with her and Don Staley. But she ain't had to like it. She liked it, y'all. I could appreciate that in my life. Moving right along. Moving right along. So anyway, I wanted to say that. Now, I'm going to save Geno for last. Let's get into this LeBron James situation. Oh, y'all can't see it? Sorry, it was blurry. Sorry. Let's get into this LeBron James situation. Let's read through this article. LeBron James is he offended the people of Memphis, and now look like he's going to offend the people of Milwaukee, and he doubled down. Let's talk about it. It says LeBron James did not back down from comments that emerged earlier this week in which he suggested that the Memphis Grizzlies should relocate to Nashville. Instead, the Los Angeles Lakers star pointed out a reporter Saturday that he actually took digs at two cities during his recent appearance on the Bob Does Sports, the YouTube show, while also clarifying that his comments on Memphis had nothing to do with the people who live in the city. This is a quote. Milwaukee was too. Did they miss that one? They didn't see that? James said, making a point that his comments on Milwaukee did not get as much traction. 41 years old, it's two cities I do not like. This is what he said that made everybody mad. He said, it's two cities that I do not like playing in right now. That's Milwaukee and that's Memphis. What's the problem? While appearing on the YouTube show last Thursday, James was asked about traveling the NBA at his age. James says that it just wears on you more before commenting on Milwaukee and Memphis. He said, a random effing Tuesday in Milwaukee, James said on the show, staying at the effing Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I want to do that shit? Being in Memphis on an effing random ass Thursday, I'm not like that first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. We're all like, you guys have to move. Go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got NASCAR. You got a stadium. They don't got a hockey team too. James did not stop at Memphis and Milwaukee when discussing NBA cities he doesn't like to play in or the recent criticism he received. In addition to clarifying his comment on those two cities, James mentioned he doesn't like playing in Cleveland either. The Akron, Ohio star played his first 7 basketball seasons with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He returned to the Cavaliers in 2014 and led the franchise to 4 straight NBA final appearances and won a championship in 2016. Quote, I don't like going home either, and I'm from there, James said Saturday. People are ridiculous. They also got mad at my son for being on the Lakers. So what are we talking about? People need to figure out other ways to put their energy into other things more important. Like, seriously, I'm not talking about the city. Like the people in Memphis, I don't like staying at the Hyatt Centric. What's wrong with that? Nothing. What are we talking about? People need to chill the hell out. James' comments grew criticism from media members and residents in Memphis after clips of the show emerged. Memphis Mayor Paul Young responded to James by inviting him to his city. He's been to the city, sir. Let me finish this. I'm almost done. He said, quote, I would welcome the chance to turn your criticism into action in one of the most important cities in the world, Young said in a Facebook post, highlighting comments made by Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins on ESPN's backing of Memphis. Come on, Memphis, and roll around with me for a bit, and I will show you some of the culture and powerful investment opportunities in our city. Y'all gonna be mad at me. I'm already reading the comments, and y'all gonna be mad at me. So part of the criticism was because he was saying this, it was a golfing YouTube show, and he said this in front of white people. I don't see what he said wrong. He said he don't like playing in those cities. He said it ain't shit going on in those cities. It ain't shit for him to do. And he don't like playing in those cities. I don't understand. So explain to me why y'all mad. You said it's the optics. What are the optics? I mean, the man has been traveling with the NBA for 41 years. Well, not 41 years, for 20 years. And they asked him, what cities do you not like playing in? I feel like the majority of the cities that he could have said would be cities that are predominantly black. Most cities are predominantly black. So any city he said would have probably pissed people off. If he had said DC, predominantly black. New York, predominantly black. Chicago, Detroit. Like, what we mad about? Y'all act like he volunteered this information. The people asked him a question. And he gave an answer. And he even explained why. In what the article I read, he went on to explain why. He didn't say because the people are terrible. He didn't say because I got robbed in Memphis. He said, I don't like staying at the hotel where we stay. I don't like that hotel. It ain't shit else to do. That's what he said. I don't understand what y'all... I mean, I'm reading the comments and I hear what y'all are saying, but I don't get it. Right, Quake. People don't have to like it. You're right. And let's be clear. I'm not a LeBron fan. Let me be very clear. I've never been a LeBron James fan. I respect some of the things LeBron James has done philanthropically, but I'm not a LeBron James fan. I never have been. So this is not coming from a fan. I just, like, if I'm going to be mad at LeBron James, I just feel like it's a lot of other things he done gave me to be mad about. That ain't one of them. And I get it. Okay, he said it to a white man. Well, would it have been better if he had said it to a black person? If that had been Stephen A. Smith, well, I don't want to use him. If that had been Kendrick Perkins asking him, so after all of your years in the league, where are the places you don't like to go? Would that have been better if he had said it? I mean, would that have been better? I don't know. I'm confused. But okay. I mean, people have a right to be offended by what they want to be offended by, but I just don't see what he said that was wrong. I don't know. I mean, like, for me, I will never go. I mean, it would have to be free. I'm never going back to Jacksonville, Florida. It would have to be free for me to go back to Jacksonville, Florida. I went to Jacksonville, Florida to go to a Redskins Commanders game, and I went to the game, and it won't shit there to do. It was the worst. It is the worst. How did they get a football team? It was the worst. Even, listen, the Uber driver that picked us up from the airport to take us to the hotel, the Uber driver, we said, what can we do? What can we get into tonight? We going, we here for the weekend. We came in on a Friday. The game was Sunday. No, we came in on a Saturday. We were leaving Monday. The game was Sunday. We were like, what can we get into tonight? We trying to, baby, the Uber driver said, I ain't even going, lie to y'all. It ain't really nothing to do. I have never gone to a city where the Uber driver or the taxi cab driver didn't have some suggestion. Baby, We even said, well, I mean, it ain't no hole in the wall like restaurants. They have good food. We even said, where the good script joints at? Where the script clubs? We know we get some good wings. He was like, I wouldn't even send y'all to the strip club. He said, I wouldn't send y'all down there. I said, it ain't no hole in the wall. Like, it ain't nothing. He said, nah. Baby, I would never go back. I would never go back. And if somebody asks me, what's the worst city you've ever been to go to a football game? I'm going to say Jacksonville, Florida. Now, am I talking about the people of Jacksonville, Florida? No. No. But I'm telling you where I ain't never, it would have to be a free trip. Somebody would have to say, I will pay for everything. I want to go to this game down in Jacksonville. Baby, I got your airfare and I have your hotel and the tickets are good seats. I would go. But if I got to pay, I don't even care if you say, can you tip the Uber driver? Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Nope, I ain't tipping the dude. I'm not doing that. And can I tell y'all something? And don't nobody from Memphis get offended. Don't nobody from Memphis get offended. Can I tell y'all something? I've been to Memphis. I'm not going back. I've been to Memphis. I stayed on Beale Street. I went to BB King's club. I went to Morgan Freeman's. At the time, Morgan Freeman had a little spot. I went to his little spot. I went over to the Lorraine Hotel. The only thing I didn't do that, if I did go back to Memphis, I didn't go to Stax Records. I would go to Stax Records. Other than that, I'm not going back. And can you imagine how many times LeBron James has been to Memphis in his lifetime? LeBron James said he don't like staying at that hotel and it ain't nothing to do. Y'all mad because he said it to a white person. That's why y'all mad. Tawanda said Jacksonville is the devil. See, she know what I'm talking about. So I ask y'all, if he had said that to a black person, would y'all feelings be different? Because is it just because he said of who he said it to? Because again, I still don't understand why that makes us mad, but okay. He ain't lying, but I understand why they were offended. He didn't enjoy seeing the ducks at the Peabody. Nope, that's not why, but it matters. Okay, I can respect. Listen, I respect y'all's opinion. I'm just trying to understand it. That's all. Because when I read the article, I was like, this what people mad about? Again, I could see if he said, I don't like Memphis, it stink. Like Savannah, Georgia. No disrespect to people who live in Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia stinks. That paper, it's a paper mill. It used to be, at least it used to be. I don't know if it's still there now. It used to be this paper mill. And the people who live in Savannah, they just used to it. They used to it. Because I've said to people who live in Savannah, I'm like, what do y'all do about that smell? They were like, what smell? I said that paper mill. They were like, oh, we don't even smell that no more. And I'm sure if you live in certain parts of the city, you don't smell it at all. But when I went to Savannah, the first time I went to Savannah, where our hotel was, we could smell it. We were like, what the fuck is that smell? So I'm just saying, like, do y'all know, and maybe I'm desensitized because I grew up in DC in the 80s. And y'all know what they call DC in the 80s, right? Y'all know what they call DC in the 80s. Okay. Okay, do I have a mod? Cajun, can you, I don't know if you're on that side. This Jean-Jacques, whatever that person is, somebody get them out of here, please. If they're not on the side that you're on, let me know. I'll go block them. Y'all get them out of here, please. I grew up in DC when they called DC the murder capital of the world. The world now, mind you, the murder capital of the world, mind you. I had to live with that. You did undergrad at Savannah State. So do you know what I'm talking about? That paper mill? Thank you, boo. C said, don't talk about my city, LeBron. But he didn't talk about your city. He talked about that hotel where they stay in your city. That's the people that need to be offended is the people that own the hotel. That's the people that need to be offended. The people that own the hotel need to be offended because that's what he said. He said he don't like staying at that hotel. He didn't say nothing about the people. Anyway, moving on. I ain't got time, but I hear what y'all are saying. I hear what y'all are saying. Be happy these folks don't know nothing about the 80s, but that's what I'm telling them, honey. I'm telling them. It's yeah, Dr. Soapy, you know what I'm talking about. So, look, I grew up, y'all know the first thing they say to us when about DC, they talk about Marion Barry. Don't you talk about my mayor. That's why when people say that Donald Trump, people voted for a felon, hell, I voted for a crackhead because I sure voted for Marion Barry. I sure did. And did. People are mad about his words, but not raising Cain for oh child. I live 1 hour away from Savannah. It's the pulp and the paper mill mixed with the heat. Okay. All I know is it's baby, it smells some kind of bad. And that was my first time in Savannah, baby. It smells some kind of bad. Panama City, Florida. Ooh. Right, Cheryl. Cheryl said I sure did. I did. I sure did vote for Marion Barry and did. Right. Reese Peasy had to drop from this because she always in the sky. Had to drop from the sky. And I saw my boo Jay Parrish. Jay, where you been? I ain't seen you in a while either, boo. Look at Sweet Pea, Marion Barry. See, that's what I'm saying. So listen. I get being offended when it's your city being talked of. I get that part. But all I'm saying is when I read what he actually said, he didn't talk about the people of Memphis. But I can understand people feeling some kind of way. Again, it didn't hit me the way it hit other people. But everybody has a right to their feelings, to be clear. You got a right to your feelings, you know. Exactly, Tawanda. Exactly. People don't understand us DC people being loyal to Marion Barry, honey. I've told y'all a million times. But I did. And did. All right. They better not talk about my mayor. I love Marion Barry and I'm not from DC. But anyway, I'm not from DC. Hey, Jay Parrish, what's up, boo? I ain't seen you in a minute. All right. Well, he didn't vote Jesse Jackson Jr. thieving behind back. Well, y'all didn't. You're right. Y'all didn't put Jesse Jackson back. Y'all didn't. Shout out to New Edition. It looks like New Edition is going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They lead all ballots, and I believe voting is over. But New Edition, as of the latest update I saw, New Edition was in first place. Phil Collins, second place. Pink in third. Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet? Luther Vandross in fourth. Shakira is in fifth. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Shakira's in fifth. NXS is in sixth. And Sade is in seventh. And then after that, we have Wu-Tang Clan. Billy Idol's not in? How Billy Idol not in the Rock and Roll Hall? That don't make no sense. Billy Idol's not? Mariah Carey. I thought Mariah Carey was in. Mariah Carey's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Wow. Lauryn Hill, Iron Maiden, Melissa Etheridge, and the Black Crowes. So it looks like New Edition will be first ballot. I think there's whatever the certain criteria. There's certain criteria. And maybe whatever the criteria is, but it looks like I don't know if they take like the first 5. I don't know how this works, but it looks like New Edition, Phil Collins, and Pink are the top 3. So maybe they do the top 6. So if they do the top 6, then it's New Edition, Phil Collins, Pink, Luther Vandross, Shakira, NXS, and Sade. And listen, I used to love me some NXS. Y'all. And I remember in high school, back in the day when you used to when people would dub a tape for you, you know, back in the day we had audio cassettes and people would make copies for you. Y'all know I went to a white high school. Baby, I used to get them white girls to give me all them NXS and Depeche Mode. Baby, they used to give me all that. They give me all them. NXS and Depeche Mode, baby. I love me some NXS. Depeche Mode was in, but definitely NXS. Love me some NXS. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Now this is me talking, not my bank account. This is me talking, not my bank account. I'm gonna say this one more time for the people in the back. This is me talking and not my bank account. But if New Edition gets voted, it looks like they're going to get voted in. I might go down to the induction. Now I'm sure that the tickets are going to be ridiculously priced. But I might try to check them out. I might try to see how much the tickets are. Because y'all know I love me some New Edition. I would just be interested to see who's going to do who's going to bring them in and celebrate them and perform. And I'm sure they're going to perform because New Edition don't miss an opportunity to get on stage, honey. Let's be clear. But I'm here for it. And especially, y'all know how much I love me some Pink. Y'all know I love me some Phil Collins. Everybody on this list, I love. The only person on this list that I probably wouldn't, is Shakira. I'd probably go to the bathroom during her part. And there's no disrespect to Shakira. I just never really got into her music like that. Like, I know some of her songs, Hips Don't Lie. That's probably all I know. And then she do a song called Telephone with Beyonce. I think those are the only two. And only reason why I know the song because it's with Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know the song. I still couldn't sing you one lyric from the song. Baby, I wish I could have went to that show, Soapy. When I went to go, that's the other thing. I told y'all I'm going to stop buying tickets in D.C. I'm going to start traveling to go to these concerts because the tickets in D.C. are ridiculous. So I didn't make it. This is probably one of the few New Edition concerts I have not made it to in their career. Oh, that was Lady Gaga. See, don't know. Beautiful Liar. Oh, that's the song with Shakira, Beautiful Liar. Oh. See, don't know. But I know Hips Don't Lie. I think that's the only song I do know. Like I could sing you the chorus. Like I know the beat. I know the beat. You know what I'm saying? But if not if again, because it looks like they're going to be. I mean, I don't even know how that works. I don't know when the tickets go on sale. I don't know what all that. But I would be interested in trying to get a ticket to go, if I'm being honest. But again, that's me talking and not my bank account, because who knows how much them tickets cost, child. And I'm sure it's like the award shows where the main seats are for the celebrities and the VIPs, and like the fans can be up in the balcony. So I would probably be up in the balcony seats. Remember back in the day, back in the day at the heyday of the AMAs and not the Grammys, but the AMAs and stuff. And they would always be like, to the balcony, to the fans. And the fans would all be up in the balcony. That's probably where I would be. I'll watch it on Disney Plus. You know what? Now, too feisty, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll have a watch party. You know what? That's cheaper. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have a watch party at my house where we'll watch it on Disney Plus. There you go. That's cheaper. And you get the best seats in the house. See, that's why I like y'all. You're right. I don't need to be there. I could just have a watch party I can have a watch party at my house. Sure can. Just invite my New Edition crew over. We're making a potluck, have some cocktails, and just sit in my living room and have a good time. We can get up and dance. We can go to the bathroom when we need to. We ain't got to step over 500 people to get to the bathroom. You know what? I like that. Maybe that's what I do. Have me a good old watch party at my house. See? You just saved me about $1,000. It's a long show. Okay. See, you just saved me about $1,000. By the time I get a flight, a hotel room, and tickets, and eat while I'm there, you just saved me $1,000. Look at you. Look at you. One of my best friends' dad is Brooke Payne, and that's Ronnie's uncle, right? If It Is in Love, that looks like Jamie Foxx. So I had to go to a lot of the concerts. Yeah, growing up, one of my girlfriends, we lost touch a long time ago. Her father worked for what was New Edition's record label back in the day? MCA. He worked for MCA, so we used to. I ain't gonna sit here and pretend like I was hanging out with the band and all of that, but I was around. I'm gonna just say that I was around. But we used to get good concert tickets. I saw them. I spoke to him once or twice. I was around, but I wasn't best friends with him. I wasn't hanging out in their dressing room. And I think like maybe for like 3 shows when they came through DC, he was able to get us good seats and that kind of thing. But yeah, no, I ain't about to sit here and be like, yeah, you know, those was my boys. Now, I did used to talk to Ronnie back in the day on Twitter when when the celebrities actually really did their own Twitter and really, I used to talk to Ronnie all the time. I was actually in Ronnie's fantasy football league for about 3 or 4 years. He had his own fantasy football league, and I was actually in his fantasy football league for about 3 or 4 years. I think he stopped doing it, or because at one point it was like the first couple of years he opened it up to everybody, and then after that he did it like it was like invitation only. So every year he had to resend you the invitation. So either he stopped doing it or he stopped sending me the invitation. One of the two. Or he sent the invitation and I ain't see it. Because I really don't do fantasy football like I used to anyway. I do more FanDuel and the other one. I do that now. So I really don't do fantasy. So if he sent it, I just might not have seen it. But I was in his fantasy league for a few years. No, I was never on the tour bus. Nope. Queen Latifah says she'd never come back to her. Who's your city, Missy? Missy. Not backstage underage. Right. You see how we let people get away with shit back in the day that we don't let them get away with now? They could never make that song today. I think it would be good to do a watch party because we don't want you in there screaming Bobby. It wouldn't be Bobby. It would be Ronnie. I love me some Ronnie DeVoe. It was always, everybody else was always on Rick, was always on Ralph. Growing up, it was Ralph. And it was never Ralph for me. Them buck teeth before Ralph got them teeth fixed. Ronnie had that tight jerry curl, honey. Anyway, I always liked Ronnie because I always thought Ronnie was the best dresser. He ain't the best singer. I mean, the best dancer. He ain't the best singer, but baby, Ronnie dances ass off. Sorry. Oh, yes, I remember going to Kings Dominion and seeing New Edition. Correct. We was probably there together, honey. I remember going to going to Kings Dominion to see New Edition. Patti LaBelle and New Edition was always at Kings Dominion. Baby, they always made it to Kings Dominion. I don't know. And remember the Superfest back in the day at RFK? Baby, New Edition was always at the Superfest, honey. Oh, yes. What time is it? Okay. Let's get into these last 2 stories before we get out of here. And I'm going to try when I get off of here, I'm going to do Bell Collective, and I'm going to try to do Bell Collective and Love in Marichantsville before I get out of here. Like I said, it depends on my timeline because I really want to be walking out the door no later than 2:30. I want to be at my parents' house by kickoff. I mean, I said kickoff, Lord. Tip-off. All right. Let's talk about let's talk about Geno because I gave him too much of my time yesterday. We're gonna talk about Geno, then we're gonna get into this Trick Daddy situation. So let's talk about Geno. So Geno issued this bullshit apology, this Chat GPT written apology. Let me read y'all what this mofo said, honey. Let me read y'all what the mofo said. So this is the statement that was released by Gino Auriemma, whatever his name is, child. There is no excuse for how I handled the end of the game versus South Carolina. It's unlike what I do and what our standard here is in Connecticut. I want to apologize to the staff and the team at South Carolina. It was uncalled for in how I reacted. The story should be how well South Carolina played, and I don't want my actions to distract from that. I've had a great relationship with their staff, and I sincerely want to apologize to them. So here's what everything we need to know. If there was ever a question, if there was ever a thought, if there was ever a misunderstanding about what Friday night was about, It's in this bullshit apology. So first of all, this was some chat GPT. Your secretary wrote this. You didn't even write this, sir. And I feel like the only reason why somebody probably got on the phone because see, public opinion is not swaying. Public opinion is not swaying in y'all's direction up there in Connecticut. Y'all don't like the way this is going up there in Connecticut. So somebody got on the phone and said, you better say something. You better release a statement. The fact that he didn't even give Dawn Staley enough respect to say her. See, you offended Dawn Staley. You offended those players because you accused those players of being so aggressive that they ripped the jersey of one of your players only to find out the player ripped her own fucking jersey. So you offended those players. You accused them of playing dirty. You accused them of being too aggressive. You offended Dawn Staley. You got in her face. And whatever you said to that woman, you disrespected that woman on a level that took her so far out of, well, I ain't going to say out of character because, I mean, we know she's from North Philly. So it's in her character. But we don't see that side of Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley said she would beat your ass, sir. Multiple times. Dawn Staley said she would beat your ass, sir. We don't see that kind of reaction from Dawn Staley. And it probably hurt more because y'all do have a relationship. Good, bad, or indifferent. So this lets us know that, number one, whatever happened on Friday, it was personal. And number two, you were forced to apologize because you can't even say the name of the person that you fucking offended. Because you offended Dawn Staley. Yes, the coaching staff and all of that is part of it, but that's the person you offended. And the fact that you didn't say her name lets us know everything we need to know. And when Dawn Staley was asked about the apology, she said, I'm not going to allow any distractions. I'm only focused on winning a national championship. And that's it. And that's all. And to be honest, if I'm being honest, Dawn Staley will probably never speak on this again. And she shouldn't. She will. I don't foresee Dawn Staley speaking on this again. It's just not who she is. She's going to win this championship today. She's going to celebrate with her players. She's going to speak highly of her young ladies, her young women. She's going to help Raven transition into the WNBA and her other seniors transition. And she's going to move on to recruiting for next season and keep her head. She's going to maybe take a vacation or two this summer. And she's going to go on about her business. Her, Champ, and whoever else she spends her personal life with. And Champ is her dog, if y'all don't know who I'm talking about. Her and Champ and her friends and family and things of that nature. She's going to go on about her business. I don't really foresee her speaking on this again. The only time I see her maybe speaking on it is if she does like a one-on-one interview down the line and somebody asks her and she may respond. But just generally, it's just not her. It's not who she is. It's just not who she is. That's just not who she is. People are saying he probably called her. I don't think so. Because if he had, he would have said it in that apology. He would have said, I have spoken one-on-one with Dawn and I have apologized, but I want to publicly da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I feel like if he had called her, he would have said he called her. I don't think he did. And I don't think he's going to. A lot of people are bringing up his relationship with Pat Summitt. Pat Summitt spoke on her relationship with Geno in her her memoir or autobiography that she released in 2013. For those who don't know, Pat Summitt is the great Hall of Fame coach from Tennessee. She died, I think she died in 2019 or something like that from Alzheimer's dementia. And she spoke on her relationship with Geno. And she said that basically, she said in these words, I'm going to paraphrase for her. He's an asshole. Mm-hmm. That he was always a jerk to her. Again, I'm paraphrasing. You went to Tennessee, Tawanda? I didn't know that. I'm paraphrasing. But that he was always a jerk to her. And she said that he had unethical recruiting practices to the point where she had to file formal complaints with the NCAA about his recruiting practices. Now, in the book, she gets into more detail. She gets into more detail in her memoir. So if you guys want to go read her memoir and get more information on her story, she speaks on her relationship with Geno a few times in the book. But yeah, she basically said, yeah, he's a jerk, So this isn't, do I think there's a punctuation mark there because Dawn Staley is a woman of color? Yeah, I do. But do I think it's just about that? No, I think it's because Dawn Staley's a woman. Personally, I think it's because Dawn Staley's a woman. Now, do I think it's an exclamation point there? Yeah, I do. And that's my opinion. But definitely it's because she's a woman. Okay? I never understood why so many young girls choose his school after the tantrums and issues he's had with other women coaches. Child, the same reason why people was at that Kanye concert. The fact that he doubled down even after reporters refuted his accusations lets me know that there's a front office apology. Yeah, this didn't come from him. That apology did not come from him. Absolutely not. And privately, he probably still don't think he did nothing wrong. Privately, he's probably telling people he still didn't do nothing wrong. He don't understand what people mad about because he didn't do nothing wrong. He will never, in my opinion, and I know never is a strong word, and I try not to use never, but in my opinion, he ain't never going to apologize because he meant what he said, and he said what he meant. He meant it the first fucking time, in my opinion. Right, they want to win a championship, so they put all of that. The same reason why people kept going down to Indiana and playing for that man down in Indiana. I forget his name now. Y'all know the one that was throwing chairs and shit, and they finally fired him because they had him on tape, but he choking one of his players or something like that. What's that man's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can see his face right now, but I can't think of his name. I keep wanting to say Bobby, but I don't think it's Bobby. But y'all know who I'm talking about. The same reason why people still went down there and played for him. People think they're going to win a championship. Bobby Knight. Yep, his name was Bobby. Thank you, Bobby Knight. That's why. So they go to UConn because UConn is the winningest program in women's basketball right now. I'm glad to see that there's so many women coaches that are creating spaces. We have Duke. We have UCLA. Obviously, Dawn Staley in South Carolina. LSU, even though she a little questionable too, but she's got a good program down there. I like the fact that we are seeing so many women's basketball programs being led by women and women of color. So he won't get all the top recruits anymore. You know what I mean? Like he'll have to spread the love. Right. Right, Candace. There are a lot more programs out there now. Mm-hmm. Right. Right, to y'all mean. I have to say his players adore him, which is why I can't understand why he is so ignorant. All his players don't adore him. But they do. You're right. They do. And also, what people say publicly ain't always what they say privately. Because the other thing too is, and I'm not saying that his players don't adore him, but I know some people that play for him that But what they publicly would say versus what they would privately say, because he is powerful. You have a question. You can ask it. But don't let it be nothing crazy, because I feel like the way you said that, I feel like the question about to be crazy. So go on and ask your question. Mods, keep your finger on the trigger, because if it's something crazy, go on and get them out of here. He's smart enough to have a black female support staff also. Yeah. Did y'all see that lady? I saw a clip of it. She literally, his assistant coach, like you could see she was holding in tears. Hey, Angela, what's up, boo? He recruits a certain type of player, usually 1 and 2 in the country, but we can't do that anymore. I know y'all do. Thank you, T. I know you got my back. It's just the way they said it, honey. Talking about, ma'am, can I ask you a question? So that's why I said, because you saying ma'am, that made me think you new here. Because don't nobody call me ma'am, but you can ask your question. Yeah, she was definitely embarrassed. She looked like she was holding in tears. The black one. Mm-hmm. And the other thing too is with the transfer portal, with NIL, all of those things are now factors and decisions that college players are making, and I'm not mad about it. Excuse me. Yep, the conversations that the black assistant coaches had on the sideline with Don was telling. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not. Child, we gonna watch South Carolina win this game today. NFL players approve a mandate that teams must employ a full-time mental health clinician. As you guys know, last week was the owners meeting for the NFL, and so certain things were agreed upon and so forth and so on. And that was one of the things. So I like to hear that there must be a full-time mental health clinician. Now, it'll be interesting to see how it is written. It'll be interesting to see how it is written, because just because you keep somebody on staff does not make. I need to see what the mandate is going to look like that you be referred, and what is the penalty if you don't go. So if your coach says, "Hey, I'm seeing some behaviors that have me a little concerned, have me a little worried," and I'm referring you to the mental health clinician, what is the follow-up to that? Doesn't mean they have to go. If they don't go, what's the penalty for them not going? So I'm here for them putting something in place, but now what's the follow-up to it? Even Sarah Strong looked embarrassed when a reporter asked her about what happened to her jersey. She did. But I will give her credit. She said she did it. She said she was the one that ripped her jersey, but you're right. She looked embarrassed. What about the faces of the guys behind the confrontation priceless? One was disgusted and the other was smiling. Now, Lauren, you already know. Lauren said, I wonder if he would have done this if it was John Thompson. The John Thompson? Gino would have never fixed his lips. Because let's be clear. John... No, I'm going to just say no. Gino would have been picking himself up. It wouldn't have been no, I'm going to beat his ass. Gino would have been picking himself up. The John Thompson? Absolutely not. He didn't ever approach John Thompson that way. Do you think a woman will ever be a head coach in the NFL? Yep. Oh, you said the NFL, Major League Baseball. A head coach, no. Never is a strong word, so I'm not going to say never. I think we have a better chance of getting a woman in the NBA as a head coach before in the NFL or before in the Major League Baseball. And I think it could be Dawn Staley. Y'all know last year her name was floating around as being considered to be the head coach for not the 76ers, was it the Nets? It was either the Nets, the Knicks, or the 76ers. It was one of those teams up there in the New York, New Jersey area. And even though they came out and said, no, that's not true, what I have learned is where there's smoke, there's fire. They put stuff like that out to see the reaction. Thank you. It was the Knicks. Thank you. They put stuff like out that they want to see what people's reaction is, right? They wanted to see what's people going to say. Are people cool with that? Do people think that's a good idea? Do people think that's not a good idea? They throw stuff like out. They want to see what we going to say. And a lot of people were down for it. A lot of people were like, hell yeah. And even Dawn Staley, they asked her, they said, would you consider leaving South Carolina? And she said, for an opportunity like that, I would have to take it into serious consideration. She said, if they had called me, if they had called me, I would have had to really take that under serious consideration. So again, she's letting the NBA know I'm open, and the NBA is letting us know we thinking about it. I think we will see a woman coach in the NBA before either one of those other teams. First of all, there's no strong female team version of the NBA or the Major League Baseball like in basketball sports. I mean, like in basketball, we have the WNBA, and we have, to be fair, women's college basketball in some areas has surpassed men. I think it was, what was that, 2 years ago, Angel Reese's senior season, where you had Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and the young lady down in oh Lord, now I can't remember the young lady that came out of South Carolina that year. It was like 2 players came out of South Carolina that year. The year that South Carolina, I believe South Carolina and LSU played. When they played for that year, they got in that fight when Flage's brother came out the stands that season. The ratings were higher for the NCAA women's tournament than it was for the men's tournament that year. Aaliyah Boston. Thank you. I couldn't remember her name. Aaliyah Boston. So thank you, Natural Average 10K. Thank you, boo. So yeah, and the other young lady, Corbezo, the young lady from is she from Brazil, I believe? So yeah, I think we'll see a woman coach. And I always think of Eddie. I always think of Whoopi Goldberg's movie Eddie, where she was a female basketball for the Knicks, a female coach for the Knicks. They do have some black women on coaching staffs in the NFL, but I just think, I don't know. I'm not saying that I think we could see a female coach in the NFL. I just think it'll be the NBA first. In my opinion. But hell, who am I? I don't know nobody. I don't work for nobody. Not like, not in sports. That's just my opinion. Lord, can y'all block Haywood Pittman? Did I not put my blocker on? Because you mean to tell me you waited 5 minutes to say that? Hold on, let me make sure I put my don't I have it set that you got to be a member for 5 minutes on both sides? Let me make sure I got it set. Because you mean to tell me you waited 5 minutes to call me Big Shirley? You did that. You waited 5 minutes just to insult me, just to get blocked. You have nothing but time on your hands, sir. Let me make sure I got my blocker on, honey. Let me make sure I got my blocker on. Because that's like the 3rd or 4th troll that done slid through here this morning. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do this morning. Hold on. Let me see what we got going on here. Let me make sure we got the blocker on, honey. We almost done, but still. Let me get the blocker on. We almost done. I do have the blocker on. So you waited 5 minutes to do that? You just don't have nothing better to do this morning, sir, ma'am. Go to church. I love sports, baby. Let's start. We can start the group chat. I love sports. I watch most. The only sport I really can't get into out of the majors is baseball. I really can't get into baseball. I'll go to a baseball game. But I just can't get into baseball. Baseball and soccer, soccer don't really do it for me either. But football, y'all know I'm a football stan. Baby, I love football. Basketball, college football, college basketball, volleyball. I love volleyball. I used to coach volleyball. Volleyball. When I was the statistician in college for at Bennett. I was the statistician for the basketball team and for the volleyball team at Bennett. Track, y'all know I love the Summer Olympics, all them sports, all of that. Everything in the Summer Olympics, except for soccer, I'll watch. Hell, I like rugby. Yeah, I love sports. Absolutely, I love sports. We need to get a chat going. Yeah, let's do it. Are you on Instagram, T? Hit me up on Instagram. Let's figure it out. I'm down. And we could even get together and watch some games. We could get a crew together and go somewhere and watch some games, go down to the harbor. I know y'all are on the other side of the bridge. We can meet at the harbor and watch some games or something like that. I'm down. I like tennis. Yep, sure do. I think they can do it from the cell they can do it from a cell got you. Yeah, I'm down for a group chat. And y'all know football, y'all already know. If y'all been around during football season, y'all already know. I don't even fool with y'all on Sundays after 1:00. If I can't get live before 1:00, y'all don't see me on those Sundays. Not after 1, not after them games get started, baby. I'm out. I might carry over a little bit until 1:00, but baby, I know I'll be out of here. Boxing, I used to watch boxing more than I do now. Now, I can't do MMA. I can't do all of the blood and all. I can't do that. But I could do a little bit of boxing. Yeah, basketball used to be my favorite, but football is my favorite now. All right, y'all, let's get into this Trick Daddy situation before we get out of here. Now, my niece said, be careful. She said, be careful talking about her akas. She said, be careful talking about her akas. Oh, let me say this before we get out of here. I would just throw it in here right now. We can have a bigger conversation later. Dr. Contessa said that they have never had to pay for an event that was being filmed. So Dr. Mimi and her husband saying they didn't know they had to buy a ticket is based on what Dr. Contessa said is legit. She said that they have never had to pay for an event that they were filming. Never. She said that Toya was a horrible host. And she said the cast has never had to pay to attend an event that was being filmed. Now, y'all can do with that what y'all want. All right, let's get into these akas and Trick Daddy. Now, Nay, you can be mad at me all you want, but I'm going to have to say what I got to say about this now. I'm going to say what I got to say about this. I'm sure y'all have seen by now the viral clip that Trick Daddy has put out. Wait a minute. Lord, I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Y'all know I opened up my phone and then 20 things be popping out at me. I'm trying to scroll down to the thing. Hold on. So I'm sure y'all saw the viral moment where Trick Daddy performed at, is it their regional convention, Nay? The regional convention down in Florida, right? Now, he was pulled off the stage. I want y'all to hear just a little bit of how the performance went. Let's listen to a little bit of how the performance went.
Hey, man, I flew out to Orlando to see Trick Daddy. Who is that? Man, this is not the Trick Daddy I remember. They're about to give my mama a heart attack. What do you say? Everybody leaving. What's going on?
So he was pulled from his performance was pulled. He was cussing and all the things that we would expect Trick Daddy to do. This is the letter that was sent out by Tiffany Moore Russell, who is the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority South Atlantic Regional Director. It says Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated South Atlantic Region contracted Trick Daddy, a rapper from Miami, to perform a selected list of songs after our Step and Stroll competition on Friday night. We met several times with him and his team to detail our requirements, including attire, language, and specific songs. Unfortunately, our requirements were ignored. The language, the lyrics, and the comments made by the artist were not acceptable. I ended the performance because of the disrespect for our organization and for our brand. Our step teams represented the creativity, the discipline, and excellence that make our sisterhood proud, and I regret that this performance distracted from that experience. Thank you, my sisters, for extending grace and for continuing to uphold the standards of dignity that define Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the South Atlantic region. So that is what was put out there. Now I'm gonna let y'all hear what Trick Daddy had to say.
Here's the thing. To whoever your organization is, I don't care if you're the director, the president, I don't give a fuck what you is to this organization. Don't use my name to clean the same face with your motherfucker self. Don't lie on me. That's the definition of my character. Don't motherfucking defamate my character.
He said don't defamate his character.
Okay, don't defamate my motherfucking character.
Don't defamate his character.
Don't do that. So I make sure y'all can hear me. First of all, I want to make sure I'm loud and clear so y'all can hear me. So when I tell y'all this, do not defamate my character. I see a post with a director of the AKA gang, well, whatever.
He called him a gang.
She supposed to be. No disrespect to the AKAs. Most highly respected, some of the most beautiful, attractive, and successful women that I know are AKAs. So no disrespect to y'all.
He said the AKA gang.
The director who got me totally fucked up. Don't lie on my motherfucking name. But let me explain something to you. The AKA. So here's the thing: had their regional conference in Orlando, and they booked me to perform. Trick Daddy Dollars. Yeah, they booked me to perform. I want y'all to tell me in the comments. I want to know when it's time for Trick Daddy to perform at your event. What the fuck do you think he gonna perform? So the girl name is Tiffany Moore something. Tiffany, the director, the Southeast region to direct. You should have stayed off social media, put my name involved in there, because I heard you running for some type of office or something. I will get on your ass every day until you won't motherfucking win. Don't play with me. Don't play. That's right. So I'm performing for the AKAs, and yeah, I do jump on the D. That's one of my records. You should have known that when you booked me. But don't put out no statement talking about you told me what the motherfucker, you gave me a playlist. You can't give me no motherfucking playlist. This ain't your wedding. Fuck wrong with you? I ain't no shorty. I ain't no little ass boy. Anybody that was in that Diddy and was sanctified, they should not been in there once I grabbed that. They had their regional conference. Motherfucking mic. I ain't asked to be there, y'all. And I gave you, y'all motherfucking get the rest of my motherfucking money. Do not use me to save face. I ain't the motherfucking one. Don't play with me.
He said this ain't your
call you no hoe.
And I didn't mean to call you no hoe.
And I gave you, y'all motherfucking get the rest of my motherfucking money. Do not use me to save face. I ain't the motherfucking one. Don't play with me. And I ain't mean to call you no hoe. Motherfucking mic. I ain't asked to be there, y'all. And I gave you, y'all motherfucking get the rest of my motherfucking money.
Listen. He said, I ain't mean to call you no hoe. Why is everything so funny to me today? He said, I ain't mean to call you no hoe. Oh God. Now listen. He said, you can't give me no playlist. It's not your wedding. Oh God. Oh gosh. Okay. Now listen. Putting all the comedy aside, I blame whoever booked Trick Daddy. Who the fuck thought that this would be an appropriate performance? I don't give a damn if he was coming out for the stroll. I don't give a damn. Who thought that this would be an appropriate performance at y'all South Atlantic Regional Conference? Do you know how many AKAs in that room were over the age of 60? Sir, ma'am, not sir, ma'am, who was in the planning session and said, so who y'all think we should get to perform, during the stroll, the step and stroll? Like, who y'all think? Y'all think we should get? Okay. Who said Trick Daddy and the rest of the room said, that's a good idea? Who did that? Because there's no world. There's no world where anybody in that room, do you know how many layers you have to go through in a conference that size to get something approved? It wasn't like it was just 5 young ladies in a room that just crossed over spring of 2023 that said, y'all, let's get Trick Daddy. That is not, no. Do you know how many AKAs were in that room that were over the age of 50 when somebody said Trick Daddy's name? Baby, I have seen women, I'm not going to say which organization, but I have seen women stroll to back that ass up. I bet you they never thought of bringing Juvenile to their convention. Who thought it was a good idea? Do y'all know Robert's Rules of Order? Has anybody ever been in an organization where you have to do things through Robert's Rules of Order? Do you know how many layers you have to go through to get something approved when you do everything based on Robert's Rules of Order? Where are my organization people who have to do something through Robert's Rules of Order? You know how many layers you have to go through? Do you know? I know for me, damn it, this damn camera, I'm moving too much, I think, for the camera. I know for me, y'all know I'm a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. Do you know how much stuff? Do you know how many layers we have to go through to approve? I promise y'all, and I ain't gonna tell our business, but I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Y'all, do y'all know how much we have to go through to approve writing a $5 check for something? Sometimes I be in a meeting like, I get him the $5. Damn. Because I just be wanting to go. I want the meeting to be over. I'm like, who I need to give the $5 to? I just give it to him. Why are we still having a meeting about this check? And please don't listen. If y'all ever get a check from an organization, if you do work for an organization and they give you a check, even if it's just a donation, even if they just say, hey, we glad you showed up. Can y'all cash that shit? Even if you don't need the money, can you cash it? Because do y'all know what we got to go through if somebody don't fucking cash the check? Anyway, and I'm not even telling our business. That's just business. Anybody who has ever been in an organization that follows Robert's Rules of Order, do y'all understand how many layers this had to go through for them to write a check to Trick Daddy Dollars? Nobody said, and here's what I believe, and this is the truth. I do believe that there were conversations about what they wanted from him. I do believe that there were conversations about language and what songs they didn't want him to perform. I believe that. I do. I believe there was a conversation. But I also believe now they would have to show me the paperwork. They would have to show me the paperwork because I believe Trick Daddy when he says, I didn't agree to it. Now, did somebody in his camp agree to it? Maybe. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that. But at the end of everyone strolls to that LOL. Apparently the SG Rolls had too short at one of their events. Oh, had too short at one of their events. Oh, I thought you said something else. Well, that's why I said, Nay, I didn't want to say nobody's organization, but I'm just saying. I mean, and we ain't gonna talk about the Wipe Me Down with Lil Boosie ignorant ass. Although they have asked Lil Boosie, I've seen Lil Boosie perform at events with Pan-Hellenic events. Thank you, The Informed, for the super chat to Imagine Trick at the DNC. Right, like, come on, y'all. Again, I think this was just a bad decision. Well-intended. I'm sure it was, it was well-intended. It was a well-intended moment. You probably had people who liked Trick Daddy and all of that good stuff, but it just wasn't a good decision. And I do think there were conversations. I do think there were conversations. I believe that. I just think that the conversations probably weren't with the right people. You might have talked to his people. Now, again, what'll be interesting is if, and not publicly, they don't need to tell us publicly unless they want to just clear their name. And when I'm saying they, I mean Alpha Kappa Alpha, unless they want to just clear their name. But internally, South Atlantic region, I think you need to present the contract to the members to prove that you guys did exactly what you're publicly saying you did. I you know what I mean? Like, I understand you had to put something out to save face and all that kind of stuff. But I think that if you want to publicly put that out, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. I don't think Trick Daddy has any clean songs. So again, I don't understand why anybody asked anybody to do it. But okay. As a sorority sis who has planned local, state, and regional events, I can't imagine my sisters grooving to TD. My sisters would have clutched their pearls, literally. Oh, baby, I know. Them silver sorors, and I don't mean no disrespect. I know they was in there like, what in the entire hell? Baby. I'm sorry though, Alpha Kappa Alpha, y'all gonna have to take the L on this one because I don't understand how anybody thought this was a good idea. And again, y'all would have to show me the contract. Y'all would have to show me the contract. If I was in that movie, y'all would have to show me the. If I was part of the South, the Southern region, y'all would have to show me the contract. Oh, I know they were walking out. Oh, I know they were walking out. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Trick Daddy, let me say this to you as well, Trick Daddy. You're not that ignorant. Maybe you are. I don't shit. Maybe you are. But I don't think you that ignorant. I mean, you might be. You might be. Anyway, let me get off of here, y'all. It's 12 o'clock. I said I was going to be doing Bell Collective from 12 to 1 and doing Love and Marriage Huntsville from 1 to 2. So let me get over to Bell Collective. Give me about 10 minutes I to finish setting it up. I didn't set it up because I thought I would have time. Give me about 10 minutes to finish setting it up. And then I won't even do the thumbnail. I'll just finish setting it up. And then I'll come live to do Bell Collective. And then we'll do Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'll do the thumbnails later. But I'll be back. If you want to hear, meet me on the other side in about, give me about 10 minutes. Meet me on the other side. Bell Collector shouldn't take me a whole hour, so I'll get caught up. But that's what it is. Talking to Trick versus his team, two different things. Right, exactly. And again, his team may have said, okay, he'll do it because he might need the money. I mean, I don't know. They might have been paying good money. I don't know. But I don't think Trick Daddy agreed. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Lil Baby said the fact that they would go through those provisions to try and ensure the performance was safe should suggest it wasn't good to book him. I'm not gonna say that because I think that depending on where you get booked, I think that those are things that are valid. I remember seeing Raheem Devon at the mayoral inauguration. He performed at the mayoral inauguration a few mayors back. And I was at the inauguration event and Raheem Devon performed. He performed in a tuxedo and he sang his songs and he still, gave the ladies all of the feels. And by the time his performance was over, he had undone his bow tie and he had unbuttoned the first couple of buttons, but he wasn't disrespectful to the event. Versus I've seen Raheem Devon perform at a club. It's a whole different experience. So I don't think it's unreasonable to say, hey, you're performing at this type of an event and there's an expectation. However, I don't think that Trick Daddy has ever given us an opinion that he can adjust his performance. I just don't think he's ever given us that. When have we ever seen Trick Daddy give us the appearance that he can adjust his performance? And what songs does he have? That if you take out all the cussing and all the sexual innuendo, what do we have left? That's like that time Lil Wayne performed at the Grammys or something, and they had to keep bleeping everything out. And I said, shit, by the time they got done bleeping everything he was saying, all you could hear was the beat. Like, they had to bleep so much stuff out. It was like, why did y'all even ask him to perform? Right, but even if half the AKAs were at Freaknik, that's the name of it is Freaknik. That's two different things. Being at a regional convention and being at Freaknik, two different expectations. Two different expectations. Nobody is saying that the AKAs don't listen to Trick Daddy. They're saying that wasn't an appropriate place for Trick Daddy to perform. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, y'all, let me get over here. Let's go talk about this crazy, stupid Bell Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville, honey, because I do have some things to say, and then I'm going to get on out of here. All right, give me about 10 minutes, y'all, and I'll be over there. All right. Talk to y'all later.